Welcome to Cafe Catholica 2022. We have a wonderful lineup of speakers for this year's theme, Real Presence. In a few moments, you're going to hear from Father Dat, current pastor at St. Faustina, about God's presence through life's absences. However, before that, we want to hear from young Catholics around town on Real Presence.
I've felt God present in my life through almost everything and through all the relationships that I have with different people, including my fiance here.
I really feel that when, kind of faced with adversity, at least in my life, God really just gives me opportunities to just really lean on Him. And for me, I feel that's really transformative and quite beautiful.
I'm extremely grateful to have such a spiritual group of family and friends that really remind me of God's limitless love, as well as I love seeking the peace of the great outdoors that God has provided for us.
For me, it's just always been in the small little moments in between when I have classes or just when I'm driving in the car where I'm able to slow down and just really embrace the situation.
I think God's with me now, so He's made it through everything I've made it through, so, He's been there.
So, babe, where have you felt God most present in your life?
Every day, through family and friends, and I think my family's always been such a great example of prayer and prayer life, and just constant reminder to keep God and all the saints top of mind, and to reach out to them as a resource when things are tough and also when things are great as well.
I once heard this saying, bent knees break chains. And I've definitely felt God's presence in the darkest moments of my life. At the beginning of this year, 2022, was very rough for me and my family. And I felt through my obedience and really getting on my hands and knees and praying to God, I was able to withstand a lot of that and really overcome some of that adversity.
9 years ago, I lost two of my daughters. And in that moment, I felt the Lord's presence even closest than ever before.
I would feel God present in my life through my interaction with the people around me, with my friends, my family, and most of all, whenever I go to adoration.
I think there's two ways that God can be present to us in our life. One of those is consolation, which is really great. I think a lot of us have experiences on retreats or maybe certain moments in Mass. But very oftentimes, I think we cannot feel God's presence in our life, and that does not mean that He is not there. And I think it's very important in prayer to look back at those times where we didn't feel like we were with God and to acknowledge how God was working in our life.
Hi, my name's Angie Pimetto, and I'm the Director for the Office for Young Adult and Campus Ministry.
And I'm Talia Romero, the Associate Director for the Office of Young Adult and Campus Ministry.
Cafe Catholica is a ministry from this office, and we're so excited you're here for Real Presence.
Young adults to pray, learn, and connect. But Cafe Catholica is a pray, learn, and connect. But all this connection happens throughout the week. We want to invite all young adults to consider joining a Cafe Connect discussion group. These groups will be an opportunity to connect with young adults throughout the month of July and dive deeper into
women in crisis pregnancy.
To connect with young adults throughout the month of as a place for young adults to pray, learn, and connect. But all this connection happens throughout the week. We want to invite all young adults to consider joining a Cafe Connect discussion group.
You missed a really great video about Catholic Connect and World World Youth Day, but I'll put it up on Facebook tomorrow, so we'll get it to you. Can we get some lights back on? Yeah. I know. Father Dad, we're not introducing him yet, but he offered to do an exorcism on our equipment. We should have taken you up on that. Sorry. All right. Welcome to Cafe Catholica. So happy you're here. My name is Angie Pimetto. I'm the director for the Office for Young Adult and Campus Ministry. And this is...
I am Kelly McBee. I go to St. Michael's, and I am on team this year.
And in case you haven't figured out, anyone in these blue shirts is on team. So if you're ever lost or maybe at the women's bathroom and you want to be at the men's, you can come help. We'll help you figure it out, okay? So Catholic Catholica is 100% funded through our corporate sponsors, which you all got to hopefully talk to them. And can we get our fundraising thermometer back on the screen? Hopefully everything is still working But so we have our corporate sponsors that help us to fund this night, but we also always ask for donations from the young adults.
Nice.
So if you can use the other thermometer, that would be great. I'm sorry. We are really having trouble. We're on the struggle bus today. If you are able to, you guys all had the baskets passed during Mass. We'll pass the baskets again if you want to give cash. Otherwise, you can text the keyword, which is Cafe 2022, to number 41444. There we go. Look at some things. Look at that. We're only a third of our way to our goal. Thank you, guys. So hopefully, this is our nightly goal, $3,000. And then we're going to do that every 4 weeks, all the 4 weeks here of Cafe Catholica. And so again, and actually, hopefully, if this works right, I'm not going to say that because it might not work. Technology is not our friend tonight. But please text, and that's a way you can want to give through your credit card as well.
Okay, so you may have noticed that this year's nightly goal is a little bit higher than last year's. We are hoping, as Angie said, to raise $3,000 per Cafe Catholica week. And why is that? Mainly because of dinner, and it is expensive to put this on for everyone to get to enjoy and deepen your faith and grow relationships and friendships. But at a minimum, it costs $6 for every single person to attend this. So if anything, if you are able to give a minimum of $6, we would greatly appreciate it so we can continue to fund this program. To donate, you can take your phone out and send the keyword Cafe 2022 to the number 41444. That is Cafe 2022 to 41444. So that is a text message, and once you send that, you're going to get a link. At the link, you will then be able to enter your credit card information and donate any amount that you would like, $6 or whatever you are able. So thank you so much in advance for helping us put this on through your donation.
And as you would have seen in a really great video, we have this program called Cafe Connect. So it's also in your booklets. We've done it the last 2 years, so hopefully it's not a surprise. But one of our main goals of coming here to Cafe Catholica is to help young adults connect to each other and find community. If you came tonight hoping to meet a new friend, raise your hand. All right, look at all of you. Yeah, that's right. So if you raised your hand, that means you should sign up for Cafe Connect, okay? Because it's hard. It's hard to make new friends in this big old group. You guys, there's a lot of you, so it's a little intimidating sometimes. And so these Cafe Connect groups are really a great way to get to know only 10 other people really, really well in the next 4 weeks. It's a great way to, again, to start building relationships, building friendships, and that's really one of the main goals of what Catholic Catholica is all about, what young adult ministry is all about. In your prayer booklets, there is a QR code on the very front page. Very front page, you can click that QR code, and that will take you to our main Catholic Catholica website, and on that you can scroll all the way down and click the Cafe Connect discussion groups. And on that page you can see all the facilitators, all the options. You can actually sign up on that page as well. And we have more than 40 people who are being facilitators for the Cafe Connect groups. If you're a facilitator, can you guys go ahead and stand up right now? You're a Cafe Connect
Facilitators!
Come on, be proud.
Facilitators! Yeah!
There we go.
Rock on!
Talk to anyone in the blue shirts, but we would love for you guys to be part of this. We actually also have 3 Spanish groups for anyone who's bilingual. If you want to have discussions in Spanish with other Spanish speakers, those options are also
My question. I'm ready.
Do you think people should sign up for Catholic Connect?
Yes. Long story short, you guys, Cafe Connect groups can be absolutely life-changing. I decided to sign up for one last year and met some friends who have become lifelong friends, no doubt. Some people are serving on this team. Some we just started a Bible study. We go to lunch. We do all sorts of fun things. But most importantly, we each help each other grow deeper in our faith, grow deeper in community, and really understanding our place in God's world and how we can further live our faith. So I highly encourage every single person in here to sign up for one of these groups. And you can click on that QR code, as Angie said, to sign up. The groups start tomorrow, so make sure you really take a look at this tonight. You don't want to miss, sounds like somebody's group is tomorrow, rock on. And I really encourage you to do this. So we are now going to transition into our speaker portion. That's not good. You know who you are.
Yeah, woo! We're almost to 2,000. Look at that. Keep it
Nice
coming.
job.
You can do as many silly names as you want. Just don't be rude. Okay, sorry. Now we can continue transition.
Okay, so before our speaker begins, we... This is live, folks. This is live. So, I think we're safe for a second. Okay. So on page 4 of your booklets, if you could all pull out your booklets, page 4, there is a QR code.
Big one.
Yes,
Bigger than all the other QR codes in the booklet.
bigger than these names that people are putting on the screen. So if you scan this QR code, this is where you can submit a question throughout the entirety of the talk. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to get through as many of these as we possibly can. So page 4, QR code, scan it for questions. We're going to filter them so we don't get names and stuff like that. And other than that, okay, so I am here to now introduce our featured speaker of the night, Father Dat Hong. Come on. Father Dat. Thank you. Father Dat was born in Vietnam and came to the United States in 1990. He is one of 8 children and attended high school here in Houston before entering the seminary in 1994. You were ordained in 2003, and his first assignment after ordination was to Holy Name Parish, which is north of downtown. Later on, he was assigned to St. Mary Magdalene Parish in Humboldt, Texas, where he served as parochial vicar and was in charge of the ministry. In 1997, Cardinal DiNardo appointed him as Director of Vocations and the Department of Seminarians, which he served for 7 years before being sent as the founding administrator. So let's please give a warm welcome to Father Dat.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. By the way, I do want to point out, you see that whole group of altar servers that was wearing cassock and surplice. That whole group are brand new seminarian. They just got accepted and they starting this August as seminarian. Would you please stand so we can see you? There you go. So these handsome young men are single but not available right now, huh? So stay away from them. I have to say, it is this is quite a big transition for me, because I literally, yesterday, I just got off an 8 days cruise with my family. Yeah. My family, I mean like my parents, brothers, and sisters. I'm not married or have kids. Huh? So we went on an 8 days cruise, and talking about a good life. I was eating literally buffet 10 times a day, and was sleeping 8 hours every night, plus a 30-minute nap every day. And but to be honest with you, I couldn't wait. I just couldn't wait for the cruise to be over yesterday so I can be with you tonight. Well, Father Richard, are you still here? I'll need confession afterward for saying what I just said. It was pretty cool. In fact, Angie, I was doing Mass, it came to my mind, maybe we should do our next Cafe Catholica on a cruise. How about that? I'll go with you all. We have a talk, we have Mass every day. I did that. We had Mass every day. Even for our smaller group, they gave us a room. We had Mass every day, so we can have a talk every day. And we party every night. How about that for Cafe Catholica? So truly, it is an honor to be with you. When I said yes to this, I started praying a lot. You know, in my former life as vocation directors, I had a lot of opportunity to be with young people, with young adults, and then they made me a pastor for the past 8 years. I haven't really got a chance to do this, so I've been praying. I said, Lord, I haven't really had a lot of talk or meet with young adults and young people. I really need your help, because I want to make I want to see how I can relate with them now. And the Lord was so good to me. Right away, He revealed to me. He said, Dad, don't worry. Don't forget you're Asian. You know, Asian, you heard about the theory, they don't age. All right? They live for 1,000 years. And then when they finally age, they age all in one day, then they die. So I'm Asian. I don't age, so I'm still a young adult. So whatever the message the Lord had for me, that I was studying a lot, praying a lot, and I knew that whatever message it is, I'm confident that there is at least one young adult who will be touched and changed, and that young adult is me. So, after prayers, I chose the topic for tonight: God's presence through life absences. So as I was praying over it, I went out and I started to interview different young adults. Some in my parish, some who I greatly admire because they're very involved, very strong faith. I also goes out and interview some not so involved. Faith is more or less young adult. And even while I was on the cruise, I was interviewing some nerdy and different party young adult, right? And the question, what does absences, life absences means for you? I want to invite you to think about that, because it's different for everybody. What does life absences mean for you? And as I was beginning to do that, believe it or not, you begin to see a common pattern. In fact, I would like to ask a very trusted friend and she's in here today. I want to ask her, what does absence mean? Does anybody have Siri? Does anybody have Siri I can ask her? Who has Siri? Okay, can you turn that? Let me ask her. Hey Siri, define absence. Siri, why are you quiet today? Don't ignore me. Oh, that's one thing about this friend is you can turn her off when you want. You know? She's not. So Siri, once again, oops. Siri, define absence. She said, could you try that again? Oh, you couldn't hear that. Siri, define absence.
Absence means the state of being away from a place or person.
Okay, there is Siri. Okay, the state of being away from a place or a person. A lack of something. And maybe in our life, a sense of like I'm here, but I'm not here. I don't maybe belong. Maybe there's something missing in my life. And with the things that are going on in the culture, maybe like a sense of emptiness, a sense of loneliness. Like I'm not there yet. Maybe I have not got the job that I needed to have. Maybe everybody else seems to be already be in relationship, and I'm not. A place I want to be in terms of my spiritual life, but I'm not. A job, a position that I wanted to have, but I'm not. And it may seem like everybody has somebody. Everybody is doing something but me. A sense of loneliness, emptiness, a lack of those things in our life that the world tells us we're supposed to have it all together in our life right now, especially as young adult. No, I joined the seminaries right after high school, and it takes 9 years from entering to ordination. So I spent a lot of my young adulthood being in the seminary. Now, initially, it was a little bit rocky, but after that, it was just a smooth sail for me, going right through the seminary. Until the summer, 1 year before my priestly ordination, I was sent up to Clayton, Nebraska, to study spirituality. And while I was there, I was introduced and I met this beautiful young lady. She is so beautiful, and she's perfect. And everything about the way she is was everything I would be looking for. Like she's pretty, she's kind, she's sweet. She have this smile that when she smiles, all she does is smile and I'm dead. I mean, it's beautiful. But most importantly, she's short. Perfect, right? It's like, where you been all my life, you know? And I was falling head over heels with this girl. I don't know where. Like, why now, right? I'm about to be ordained. And what's that pickup line? Girl, you must be very tired because you've been running on my mind. Now, I didn't say that to her, but I tell you what, she was not running. She was racing in my mind all the time. What is that song? What is that song that has like 1.6 billion views? I wrote it down here. What is that? What is that? Because I kind of like that song. It reminds me of that time. Oh, what is it? There goes my heart beating, 'cause you are the reason I'm losing my sleep. I'm hopeless now. I was literally a hopeless romantic. That's exactly what was happening. And, the refrain, that refrain. I'm climb every mountain and swim every ocean. That's nothing. I literally would walk barefoot in the Texas heat from here all the way to California, because that's where she's from, just to see her smile, and walk all the way back to Texas just for that. Literally, I was like that. It was so terrible. Father Richard, you shouldn't hear this. Seminarians, maybe you should go out just for a moment. It's terrible. And, falling in love sucks. I mean, I was thinking, I couldn't help it. I'm thinking about this all the time. And, yeah, the one that are clapping, it happened to you before, I'm sure. So, but the thing is, what makes it worse is all my friends that I was in high school with, and even some of the guys that joined the seminary with me and discerned out, they started dating these beautiful girls. And here I am, right? And they started finding a good job, wearing the suit, making a lot of money. I'm still in my short, learning philosophy in the seminary, you know? And at the time, she was still available and single, right? So, well, if I'm going to go, if anything, if I have to make a decision, because she can't wait for me, you know? And I'm stuck. I have cold feet, and it was terrible. And it was happened at the wrong time. So I remember going to my spiritual director. Finally, called him up, said, like, we got to meet. And I was scared to death because I was going to go see my spiritual director and tell him, I'm sorry, I fell in love, right? And I was scared to death what he was going to tell me. So I showed up, there he was, and I was telling him all these things. And so he looked at me. He said, so you fall in love, did you? I said, you bet, yeah, I fell in love. He said, welcome to the human race. The seminarians are clapping. I was shocked. He said, welcome to the human race. He said, well, your heart is made out of flesh. It means you are capable of loving. I said, yeah, but I'm struggling. I mean, the ordination, time is not waiting for me. Ordination is coming. And what do I do now? I have cold feet. Maybe I'm not called to be a priest. I literally told him that. Maybe I'm called to be married life. Because I felt so inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King at that point. I have a dream. I literally had a dream. I dreamed of marrying this beautiful girl. Daydreaming, right? Be married to her. We have a beautiful life, 2 kids, a boy that looked handsome just like me, and a princess that smiled just like her, and a little chihuahua that looks like both of us, you know? And I would work hard to build a big house, provide for them. I'm so inspired to have a big dream. Maybe I'm not called. I was scared, confused. It's a dark place to be in, even when I was praying. I was still confused. I loved the Blessed Mother. I would pray to her a lot, especially in difficult times. And I remember just even Hail, Holy Queen, Mother of Mercy, our life, our sweetness, and our hope. And I'm thinking, yeah, she's my life, my sweetness, and my hope. I'm thinking about her. It's tough. It was hard. But my spiritual director really shocked me when he said, you're human. And he said this, Dad, how long have you been in the seminary? I said, 7 going to 8. He told me, so all these years, do you feel being called to the priesthood? I said, yes, that's why I'm still here now. And he said, every year, at the end of the year, do you have evaluations where your classmates and the seminary faculty formation, don't they evaluate and affirm you and call you to the next year? I said, yes. He said, do you think God would take you all the way over here and then tell you, you screwed up? Go back and start from ground zero? He said, no. And he said, do you trust that wherever God calls you to, He will also give you the grace to live it and live it well? That really hit me. Would God do something so cruel to us? And would God be there for us and give us the grace to do it? It really hit me. Now, it didn't make it easier. I still spend a lot of time in prayers. But I made a decision that, okay, I will carry on pursuing vocation to the priesthood, even though it was hard. With a lot of prayers, I carried on. Now, today, standing here, I have to say, I am so glad I made that decision, because if I had not, I would not be hearing confession, celebrating Mass today, and giving this Cafe Catholica talk. Yeah. I would probably be doing the children vacation Bible school somewhere in California, helping over there with. But every one of us, throughout life is hard. It just is. And when we're experiencing the difficulty of life, it's easy for us to begin to have self-doubt, to feel lost. And first of all, feel that maybe something wrong with me. And it may feel like maybe I'm the only one going through this terrible experiences of life absences. It can be very easily feel that way. Maybe you're the only one. Now, you guys have been very an amazing audience, very attentive. I want to seek your help right now. Do me a favor. I want to see if we can dim the light. I want to invite you to take out your cell phone. Do me a favor. Take out your cell phone. Okay, and do this. I'm just gonna ask a few questions. All right. If you are working your job right, if you're working right now and have a job, and you're happy with it, put the light on. Okay. Good. It's a good number of you. Wonderful. Okay. If you are looking for a job, or you're working but you're not so happy, put a light on. Okay. There you go. Wow. That's quite a number of you. All right. Another question I want to ask, if you are in a relationship, if you are dating or you are married, put your light on. Okay. Oh, wow. What is the seminarian doing over there with a light? Father Richard, we got to talk. Yeah, turn that light off, you guys. All right. Now, if you're single, Put a light on. Oh, those seminarians, they're not available, but look at that. Okay, all those who have your light on afterward, we're going to have a single party right outside, okay? You can connect. Now, do me a favor. If you ever felt maybe something is missing in your life, maybe you're going through a difficult time, maybe something broke your heart, maybe even you're hurting, a sense of not belonging, a bit lost, put your light on. Put your light on. Friends, take a moment and look around. Look around. You are not alone. Can we have that light back on? Thank you so much for helping us. Yeah. You're not alone. Now, life is hard. Life is hard because if it's not hard, we won't grow. I wanna share with you a quote from what happened is when it gets really hard, we think we're alone, we're the only one going through all of this, and we run away from it. We run away from it. You ever notice that, like, we're really good at when your friend is hurt, feeling hurt or lonely, we're really good at being there for them, don't we? We love to be there for them. But we don't really take the time to be there for ourselves. We're absent from our pain, our hurt, our challenges, our difficulties. Because we're afraid of it, we'll do it for everybody else but ourselves. And we begin to drown it out with noises, distraction, a lot of things to distract us. We don't want to deal with it, even to the point of maybe compulsive, habitual habits that destructive to us because we want to drown out that noise. We don't want to deal with it. We're not present to ourselves. We're absent from ourselves. And then we started looking for comforts. And Matthew Kelly said this, which I find the quest for an easy life leads us to an abyss of comfort, and we begin to see comfort as an antidote for anything that is difficult. But soon, comfort turns to pain because it doesn't solve the problem. It only makes us more broken. But we have to face it. We have to be present to ourselves just as we're present to others. We have to really look at it in the face, raw and real, as hard, as painful as it is. Because when we're starting to do that, when we begin to face difficult life, then that's how we grow. Because Matthew said, if your goal was an easy life, would any of the following be possible? Meaningful relationships, deeply satisfying work, health and vitality, raising children, starting a new business, or mastery of any profession or hobby. Unless it's difficult, we will never grow. Never. Life is hard, and it's hard for a reason. Pope Benedict XVI said this, the world offers you comfort, dear young people, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness, and greatness requires challenges in our lives. We just simply have to embrace it, befriend it, and be present to it. Don't run away from it. In the seminary, we used to say, if you can name it, you can tame it. Because if we run away from it, we'll never grow. We'll be very shallow. We'll never be compassionate. We need to face it. Friends, I challenge you today, be present to yourself. Be not afraid. Embrace it, raw and real. You're not alone. You saw it. Everybody has struggle. Everybody's hurting. But that's all right. Because we're human. Because that's life. It makes us, we can choose to be bitter or choose to be better. That's what we can do. Secondly, I really want to invite you and challenge you to be present to God. Because when we deal with all these things, right, these things that our sins, our brokenness, our habitual sins, the way we look, our self-esteem, maybe we don't look the way somebody, maybe we're not as good as somebody, we're not as worthy, because the world does that to us. It gives you these false ideals and idols of success, how one's supposed to look, how one's supposed to be successful and happy. And it leads us to a horrible circle of comparison and competition that leave us broken, filled with anxiety. But when we really begin to face it and begin to allow God to be present to us, then in the presence of the one who loves us, we begin to see our true values. Who we are, not defined by our failures, our weaknesses, what we don't have, but by the very fact that we are loved by God and by what He tells us that is the true values in our life. You know, I wanna show you some pictures of my the cruise trip I have. My parents was celebrating on July 4th their 51 years together. So we were able to have, this is our first all-together family reunion. So there we are. That was on July 4th on the, yeah. I was celebrating Mass for them, and I told them, it's amazing that the whole United States every year would have fireworks for your anniversary, every July 4th, you know. And so the next picture is that's me and my parents. You see how beautiful my mom and dad are? That's why they have such a handsome son, you know. So that's me and my parents on there. Okay, Dad, I wanna introduce to you my nephew, Ethan. Okay, so there he is, he and I. So Ethan was born with autism, so it's a challenge for his parents. Now during the trip, I was trying to be very try to notice Ethan and try to kind of hang out and be close to him and make him feel loved, right? So he and I started to bond. He started to bond a lot. There he is, see? Me and Ethan, and I want to show you, there's another picture. There it is, me and Ethan, wow. You see that picture, see that guy right there? My mother told me this. I look like a K-pop Korean celebrity. And she is so wise, you know? My mother is very wise. Yeah, I believe her. Okay, look at Ethan. Look at how happy Ethan is. Look at his smile. Okay? It's not shown in this picture, but right before this, I took him to the bathroom. And when he went in there, he took the bathroom, and he was washing, and he was laughing, he was screaming. And as we walk out, and everybody around was kind of looking at me, why is this noisy, distracting boys doing that? See, to everybody else, he's noisy, he's distractive. But to me, he was my boy. He was Ethan. He was my nephew. Look at how happy. So then we come over here and take this picture. Look at how happy he is. But Ethan has no idea. His uncle was a lot happier to be with him. It made me realize that how God is with every one of us. Because we might feel we're not good enough, we're broken, we don't have what it takes. But when God sees us, it's infinitely more than the way I see Ethan as his uncle. He loves us. It's beautiful. And when we come to him in our heart, in our messiness, in our brokenness, he doesn't define us by that. He just sees us and he loves us. And there we recognize who we truly are. And so we have to be present to God. We do. You know, Saint Teresa of Lisieux say this. Every one of us is an unfinished masterpiece in God's hands. Even in our sins, even in our brokenness, even in our failures, God is not done with us. He's not done with us. We are like the broken pieces of glasses, and the divine master who looks at us and loves us for who we truly are, not by the way the world defines us, by what other people think, what we do, or what we have, but he looks at us and he put it all together, and it becomes a beautiful, beautiful stained glass window that radiates. That's who we are. Don't be afraid. God is not done with us yet. Be present to ourselves and be present to God. So I see that I'm already running out of time, but I do want to leave you with that. You know, as you go forth here today, be brave. I'm looking out here and I see God's presence. I see in you God's presence. God can do so much with us. So friends, thank you. You have truly been present to me today, and I pray that we will find the grace from here to be present to ourselves, to God, and to one another. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Angie said we do have just a little bit time for some Q&A. If there's any thoughts, comments, or on what you've just heard.
We're ready. Yeah, we got some.
Okay, we got some already. How do you do that?
It's on. Okay.
Start with the first one.
Okay.
All
Dramatic
right.
suspense.
So, yeah, just
Okay.
ask away. If
Okay,
I
we're
look-
ready. We're ready.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so what advice would you give to young men discerning a vocation?
Oh, Father Richard. That's wonderful. Young men and young women. Okay, one, I think, is you start with a prayer life. If you're discerning both a relationship or a vocation to the priestly and religious life, you must start by being present to God. Pray. Think of it like being in a marathon. You can't just wake up and run a 26.2. You have to work it up. And you start first with prayer. Fall in love with God. Because the world will distract us. And it will give us a lot of confusion. I love what Father Richard said. Don't be afraid or run away from our enemies, but from the one who loves us. Because once you build up your prayer life, then you will be able to be more in tune. The heart of the lover always knows the desire of the beloved. And God wants nothing but a vocation that makes us the happiest. So if we stay rooted, first started by staying rooted in prayer. Stay strong in prayer. Take an inventory of your prayer life. Take it to the next 2, 3, 4 level. That's important in discernment. Without prayer, forget about discernment. It won't work. Fall in love with the Lord. Then you begin to learn about what you are discerning. If it's a relationship, know more about the person. Know about the family. If it's a vocation, get to know the vocations. Because you have to know what you're choosing. And then from there, begin to talk to a spiritual director, to someone who can listen and begin to help you discern the movement of God, where God is leading you. And trust. You have to trust that if God calls you, He'll give you the grace and He'll open the doors for you. And you just walk. God will never fail us. Even if we go there and we think we go there, but God doesn't call that, He will find a way to lead us somewhere where we need to be and bless us. Trust that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father.
Okay.
Next question. How can we inspire others to venture out of their comfort zone with God when laziness and convenience are so prevalent in our culture?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, that's something that our culture is dealing with. That's something that we are dealing with. That's something that I deal with as a priest. No, there's always this draw toward ourselves. I think the best way to do that is to get up, be ourselves, unless our life has to be on fire. Don't be afraid. My dear young people, the church needs us, right? I think one of the ways to deal with our brokenness is being present to God and just go out there and serve. Throw yourself out there. Live your faith. Don't be afraid. Just take a deep leap of faith and do it. I think that's what inspires people. You know, you see that video where one person get up and dance and have a goofy dance, and the next person get up, and the next person, before we know it, everybody was coming around dancing. This is it, right here. The fact that you're here tonight means something. So get up, start dancing, live your faith. That's when other people will get up and dance as well.
Thank you. How would you personally describe the voice of God in prayer? Is it silence or that of a soft voice?
Ooh. This is the one I really think Father Richard is perfect to answer this. Father Richard, come on over here. Father Richard, he's a spiritual director. Come on over.
Please welcome to the stage, Father Richard.
I was his vocation director. I accepted him to the seminary. This is my claim to fame right here.
The question, again, for reference.
Did you hear that question? Yeah, there you go. I know you've answered this perfectly.
I'm sure he was listening to you, Father.
The voice of God is real love, unconditional love that's perfect, that never dissipates, that never increases. It just loves you perfectly. Anything else is probably not going to be that. Oh. So, yeah, like the voice of God, I mean, God can speak to the infinite variety, you're not infinite, to the large number of all the people in the world. Like, God knows everybody's hearts, and He can say something that specifically will mean the world to you. He knows how to love you because He made you. I don't know. There's something so unique about God's voice. Yeah. I think that when God stirs the soul, you know it because He knows your soul. He's inside you if you're baptized. And He's going to be able to, if you're not baptized, get baptized. It's really good. But He should be able to, He knows, like, I don't know, St. Ignatius Loyola, he used a little analogy. He said, because God knows your soul so well, the Creator can move in and out easily. And he said it's like a drop of water hitting a sponge or a pool that's really still, and it makes this beautiful sound, this ripple. But when anything else speaks inside your soul, like the enemy, it feels like water dripping on a rock. There's something sharp. There's something a little bit painful about it in the way it hits and makes an effect.
That's beautiful and eloquent. I can tell you my very simple answer. The voice of God sounds like Vietnamese. But God speaks to us all the time. He's not like, I'm talking to you now. But if we are attentive, He's always speaking. Scriptures, there's many times when I'm lost, I open up the scriptures and there He speaks to us. He speaks to us, to the people around us. He spoke to us tonight. He'll speak to us when we go to Mass. He'll send people to speak to us. If we have a prayer life and we're attentive, He's always speaking to us all the time in everything that we do. We have to be attentive.
Thank you, guys. Both of you. Thank you. Good job. Oh, and get a spiritual director, he says, Father Richard. Okay, and this is the last question, and there were several people who asked this question, and I gotta say, as a woman, just in general, I'll just say I really appreciate this question. What happened to the woman in your story?
I'll see you all next week.
All right, that was Father Dad, everyone. Thank you. Man, I
don't have my script up here. Very sly, very sly. Okay, well, thank you so much, Father Dat. Thank you for being with us tonight and imparting your wisdom and answering some questions for us. So, before we end tonight, we have a few announcements. First, we obviously all want you to return next week, so that will be Monday, July 18th, for the second night of our series. And next week is going to be fabulous because it is Spirit Night. So we want you all to dress up in a college sports team or whatever sports team, whether it's a TV show that you're a fan of or a movie. Be spirited in whatever you are passionate about. Could be a musician or something of that nature. So next week's speaker is going to be a national speaker, Meg Hunter-Kilmer. Same time, same place, same series of events at the same times. And like I mentioned, it's going to be Spirit Night. So also for next week, we are asking everybody to invite at least one other person who might enjoy this and really get something out of it. So think of new young adults, college-age folks, or high school, college students, young professionals, whether it's a sports team or some other function that you might be involved in. And we want you to be able to share what you received throughout this program. Now it's for you.
Okay, great. So yeah, please come to Spirit Night next week. We usually have a lot of fun. Last year, it really seemed to kick off, or it clicked for whatever reason. So yeah, wear something that is something that you love, a piece of clothing, or whatever else that shows something that you love, which that is our spirit. And then, yes, please invite someone new. Also, just a little bit of housekeeping. We did find some lost keys, and those are back at the sound booth if you've lost your keys. Also, don't forget about the Cafe Connect discussion groups. So like we already mentioned, tonight is the night to sign up. They are starting Tuesday. They go Tuesday through, I think, Saturday. I don't think we have any groups meeting on Sunday. But we have groups that will meet your time, your schedule. So check your calendars for July. Pick a date, work for you, and find a group. There's groups that are meeting in person. There are groups meeting online, and I don't know, like online, it's all kind of sad. You know, we don't want to go back to COVID for sure, but it's a lot easier in a lot of ways, right? You don't have to worry about traffic. You don't have to get out of your pajamas if you're in pajamas. You can just go home and get online and meet some new people, right?
Yes, and for the Cafe Connect groups, there will be in person and online. So whatever tickles your fancy.
That's right. Lots of options. So please tonight, before you go to sleep, sign up for Cafe Connect, okay? Also, don't forget about our YCP happy hours. So that's after this ends. We're hopefully all heading to White Run And that is also in your program or your booklet as you got when you got in. So all those details are that. Also, before I let you go, this is important. We learned this last year. The gates of the parking lot of Charismatic Center close and lock at 10 o'clock. Everyone hear that? What time do they close? Okay. We had a couple people last year that were like, oh, I'll just drive with you to the bar. And then they came back to locked gates. So if you drove a car here, you're probably going to want to drive it out of here, okay? Also, we're going to check the fundraiser thermometer again. Okay, be nice with your names, okay? Positive, uplifting. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, Millie. Yeah, Stranger Things. Woo! Also, we're not quite to our goal yet, so we're gonna keep praying. Okay, we got a few more seconds here for a few more last-minute donations.
Donors in there.
And you can use whatever silly name you want. And actually, I hope we see some Stranger Things stuff next week. So that would be my spirit night. Okay. All right. We are going to be back here again, same time, same place in 1 week. Meg Hunter Kilmer. It's going to be fantastic. Who's coming back? All right. Make your final donations. Thank you guys so much for coming. Make sure you drive the same car out of here. Have a great night.
Thank you, everyone.